The next tab I want to talk about is the Photos tab. Again, this is optional. You use this if there are photos of things you don't want in your scan. You don't have to worry too much about this. If it's a person that was walking along and they ended up being mapped onto the floor, well, another scan's going to see that too, and it's not going to have that person. So let's look at scan 2. This is a panoramic view of all 42 photos. We can also switch to single views, but that's going to take a long time to do this, so you probably want to do all 42 at the same time. You can use the mouse wheel to zoom in. There's a bit of me there in one of the photos. We want to get rid of that. So it's pretty simple, really. We just go color mask, and then you've got a brush, and it can be square or circle, and it can be various sizes as well. And we just do a really, really rough shape around, saying, don't use any of that photo. That's all that means. This panoramic photo can be higher resolution if you need it to be. It's on medium at the moment. Put it on high. If we look at the single photos and we go to some of the last ones, these are the ones looking at the floor, you can see the scanner's actually in these photos. But we automatically have a mask that gets added to take the scanner out. Here's a bit of an example. This is a shadow of the scanner. Perhaps you don't want that in your result. When you're in photo view like this, there's two different points of view. One's from the scanner, one's from the camera. If you want to do any color mask stuff, you're going to have to be in the camera point of view. So we go color mask again, and we can take out that scanner's shadow. Again, very roughly, it'll all be blended in nicely at the end. You can also use the arrow keys to cycle through the photos. We also have a clone brush, so perhaps there's a sign on the wall or something and you want to get rid of it. Perhaps it's like a marker on the scan that was used to align. In this example, let's pretend it's this light bulb here. So to use the clone brush, we need to find the photo. So there we go, there's a bit of it there. Just like Photoshop, really. Hold down Control to pick where you're cloning from. And then you can clone. And you can see it's done the brickwork there. Any of these sort of masks, like clone and that, they can be erased. So if I wanted to undo what I've just done there, I could click Erase, and then there's different masks that can be erased. So I want to erase the clone, and you can bring back your original image, which I think I will do. When in this panoramic view, you can also click on Blend. Just does some blending between the photos. Any of these masks can be turned off using these tick boxes here. You can also open up the associated program with images using this button here if you want to edit in a different package. Next thing I want to show you is the laser view. Here we have a photo. We click View Laser, and that shows us what the laser saw. Now you can see from before, this is where I was sitting, but I'm not in the photo. The last type of mask I want to talk about is the sky mask. So what can happen is sometimes it will detect sky where it actually wasn't sky, which usually isn't a problem because it's probably so far away it doesn't matter. But if you've got another scan that's also seen that same area and it hasn't identified sky there, then you might want to keep it. And Solidscan, when it combines, if anything sees sky, then it's going to be sky. That sounds a bit complicated, and it's probably not needed for these 5 scans, but just to show how it works. So there's some purple around here, and most of that seems to be tree. So I'm just going to erase the sky mask for these bits. That gets rid of that purple. It's always better to be safer than sorry. So if you're not sure or you can't get the detail to say that that's sky or not, it's better to say, well, it's not sky. So like I've done here, I've been quite rough there, saying this isn't sky, this is tree. It won't matter anyway. Another scan will come along and it will have its own go at that region and it will refine it. So let's just do one more example here. So looks like the sky got through in a few points in these trees. Just to be safe that it made a few errors, I'm going to get rid of all that sky there. So that's now considered full geometry, and we can look at the laser version of that. It all seems pretty good.